Well, what do you know? Here I am today, as I'm sure you can see by the video thumbnail and all that jargon. I played the Back 4 Blood open beta that was available through Xbox Game Pass and whatnot. And here I am today to talk about it, so let's get down to it. Oh, yeah, and also, I should mention, I for some reason forgot to record the actual audio, so it's just going to be me talking, so be prepared for that. Nonetheless, let's get down to business. So Back 4 Blood, which is made by the pretty much the same people from Left 4 Dead, which is a very well-known zombie shooter sort of survival game. It's one of the classics really. And Back 4 Blood obviously imitates the namesake, quite literally. Has the same ideas, but throws a modern spin with actual progression and randomized runs. But not just that, they have loot rarities, they have upgrades, they have cards, which is a very interesting system. At first I was worried about, but I like it now. And they have some characters, I think it was 3 or 4 of which weren't made available in the beta. So those are, I don't know, it's interesting they decided to do that. Because all the base characters they give get the job done. So maybe some of those other characters are just way better, but there's no way to know. And one thing I should mention is that, with zombie games, you have the typical, Left 4 Dead really outlined it all. You have like a suicider, you have a like stealthy one that leaps on you, you have kind of like a sniper zombie, one that spits or messes with the player from afar, and then you have a brute which just runs at the player full force with no hesitation. It is meant to be like a team takedown to kill it. And I actually liked how Back 4 Blood handled it all. I feel like they were all kind of special, and it wasn't just your typical stuff. And there's a lot more unique types. They still followed the formula, but it's different, which I really appreciated. I might be able to find it somewhere, I'm not sure. But there's these ones called sleepers, where they basically are just corpses on walls, and they just jump out and they pin you, and they start biting you and crap. So if you don't have a teammate nearby and you don't notice it, then it alone could just kill you, which I liked, because then you can't just speed run through, and it encourages teamwork, so that's fun. Or if you just have a good eye and know the spawns, which is what I did when I played through some of the levels. That's all it took. And also a thing I like a lot is the copper, which is basically the money that you spend between levels to get your gear and make it available to buy certain cards that you come across and just basic restocking. And I like how they have the team upgrades, which are always randomized. But it's nice to see people, when I play with people looked out for each other. That was nice, because we would pool our money together to get the upgrades, and there's a lot of cooperation, because people understood that you couldn't just beat it on your own. We were all a team for a reason. But the main idea is that I feel like a lot of people were wanting to work together, and they were nice, I guess, to newcomers and whatnot, because at first I had no idea what I was doing. And I was kind of frustrated with the game, because I played it the night before with a friend, and then we both ended the night being very dissatisfied, you could say. But then I picked up the next day, made me see with the potential that it had. And I can't wait for it to release in a couple months and get around to playing it some more when it's full release. Though besides that, some of the nitty gritty, some of the weapons, most of the weapons are about the same. It all comes down to rarity and attachments, because the rarity of a weapon affects the rating, and the rating is what affects the damage. And if you don't have a weapon that does damage, then what good is the weapon, Also, I should mention, there's one act, but there's 2 portions. So once you're done with the first portion, and the second part, that's when the game really starts, where there's a bunch of corruption cards, which like modifiers that work against your team, and they are really brutal. Like where all the basic enemies get like 50% more health and do like 4 more damage, which I would say is like double. So that makes it rough. And then there's a bunch of modifiers where it just screws you over and it makes the special enemies way more aggressive. And it's like, oh yeah, this weak spot no longer exists. So you can't even, you know, get like accurate shots anymore and get weak point damage, which is really annoying and it messes up a lot of strategies. Because like one of the specials, they grab you and they start just like crushing you, and you meant to shoot them in the mouth. But thankfully, they don't put a weak point over that. But they'll put a weak point over suicide or uh, like hearts, which is frustrating because then your whole party just has to shoot randomly and hopefully deal with them before they become a problem. And another thing, I'm sure I've shown it somewhere in this, but pipe bombs are the essence of the game. Because whenever you have to run somewhere, you're going to be outnumbered, and you can't spend your stamina just stopping and shooting people. So pipe bombs are the everything because they distract them and they kill them for you. But they're like the most expensive thing in the shop, really. There's other things that are slightly more expensive, but it's what you'll buy most often, which makes the game very interesting because you can just buy whatever supplies you need, but obviously it's not going to be cheap. And the pipe bombs do the best job out of anything because they give you very good clear because all the enemies run for the pipe bomb, like no matter the range, and then the pipe bomb just kills all of them, unless they're specials, which are way tankier. Though I found it's very interesting that they give you the choice to make your own loadouts and whatnot, and the way they just let you do whatever you want. I felt that's nice that they actually give you options. And another area of options they give you is characters. Most of them have small bonuses or like small perks. Like one of the characters can instantly bring like revive someone who's downed, and that's nice. But it's only once per mission, which I feel is really good because like if someone made a slip and you're in the middle of something, you don't have time to stick around and help them out. And so with that ability, you can just instantly get them back into the fray. That's nice. Though the other ones are like whenever one is when you kill an enemy, you get 10 stamina, which I think the base stamina is like 100, but you're not going to have 100 stamina because there's a lot of modifiers to increase said stamina. And also, stamina is how you stay alive. So that means that character is really good. Because basically, as long as you can move and shoot, you can keep sprinting and keep getting distance. But another one's perk is where when he shoots, I think his character I was playing, at the footage here, when he kills enemies, they have a chance to drop ammo. It's like, oh, cool, you might be able to, like recycle your bullets. No, it's garbage. Like you kill, it's like every like 20 guys maybe you kill, and they drop like 18 rounds, and then it's always for the weapon you don't even have, and it's very annoying because like, oh hey, I found ammo here, and then your teammates pick it up and they're disappointed because they picked up nothing, and you just pretty much wasted their time. I feel like it's always a letdown. But what isn't a letdown is the game so far, I'd say. As I mentioned, pretty happy of how it was. I looked through some reviews on uh, the Xbox store or whatever on the game beforehand, before I played it, and that really brought my opinion down of the game. But after playing it, I feel like it's pretty good. One thing I should mention though is that I never played the versus mode, as that some people didn't appreciate it. And the versus mode is a lot more competitive. There's a lot more systems that go into it, and like I said, I never bothered with it. There could be issues there that I didn't see, but that's outside of my area. And just like that, that's about all I had with Back for Blood. And I should also mention it's cross-platform, and the system they have for it is pretty basic. You just use your in-game name, and that's just your Back for Blood handle or account name or whatever. And there people can just search you up by that and then add you and then invite you, which I think is nice. It's pretty simple, gets the job done, and it's cross-platform across like everything. Pretty sure, like PlayStation can play with Xbox, vice versa, and then PC can just jump in too. So, I mean, I think a lot more of the free-to-play online games have been doing that recently, like, the Battle Royale types. But it's nice to see, just more openness in multiplayer games. And hopefully there's a lot more of that in the future. There's not as much separation between uh, consoles and games. Because if everyone can enjoy everything together, then that's all the better. And nonetheless, stuck around to the end. Thank you for hearing me out, and here's to seeing you another time. Bye bye.